Manchester United nil, Hull City nil. Stunned, absolutely stunned. We're going to have to take it. Jose's bottlers, Manchester United bottlers, whatever you want to say it. We've got to take our medicine. I enjoyed it last night, Arsenal losing. I enjoyed it, Spurs bottling it up at Sunderland and Liverpool drawing with Chelsea. I fully expected Manchester United to beat Hull City at home with the likes of Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Paul Pogba in the side. Why would we not expect it? But add it to the list. Burnley at home, 2 points dropped. Stoke at home, 2 points dropped. Arsenal at home, 2 points dropped. West Ham at home, 2 points dropped. Everton away, 2 points dropped. Stoke last week, 2 points dropped. Hull City, 2 points dropped. Add it all together, 14 points. And we think we can get top four. And I can see Manchester United fans again in the live comments saying, only 5 points off second place? Come on. Maybe tomorrow we can be a bit optimistic, but let's be realistic. We could be 1 point off second place, but if we can't beat Hull City at home, and more importantly, we can't score against Hull City at home, then what chance have we got of getting top four? I mean, I have theories. I'm going to get into it. Otherwise, what's the point in doing these videos? Let's get the live comments up and running as well. But where do you all sit on this? Where do you sit on this? People don't like the word blame. I think it's bloody appropriate. You've got to blame somebody. I think there's so much that went wrong tonight that it's going to take me a minute or two. But the biggest thing that I don't understand in the last two home games, I can't grasp it, is Liverpool at home don't turn up. We didn't turn up. We just did not turn up. Hull City, the night after, Arsenal have lost to Watford, Spurs have dropped points, Liverpool have dropped points. Massive opportunity because they've bottled it and we do. Now, I'm not used to this. I try to ignore the David Moyes era and the Van Gaal era, and the great era of Manchester United was built upon going for it, not turning up, giving everything and just going for it. And if the players can't be up for the opportunity they were handed tonight, I don't know where we go from here. You can talk about £89 million best midfielder in the world, Pogba, Zlatan still being world class. If they don't turn up, it doesn't matter how good they are, and they're not turning up. And there's a bigger issue with this. Just the first half, I'd put it down to the players. They don't turn up, and that's wrong. And I'm not going to be critical of the team that was picked. Yes, I would have played Anthony Martial. I think a lot of people would. But Marcus Rashford, I like him. He's one of my favourite players at United. He epitomises what United is. He's quick, he's skillful. Yeah, okay, that's fine. The one game... Now, I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I've always wanted Marouane Fellaini not to be a Manchester United player. I don't want him to get picked. I want him to be sold. I'm not going to be a hypocrite. It's nothing personal. I just don't like him as a footballer. However, over the last 3 years, and specifically this season, we've seen Fellaini being picked all the time. Defensive midfielder when he's not a defensive midfielder, always on the bench. The one game where we actually needed Fellaini in the last 10 minutes as a plan B, he's not even on the bench. I mean, that's the ironic thing. I even said it when the team news came out on the watch-along. It's a bit worrying because if we struggle to do what we have done at home and not score our chances and Hull just sit back for the last 10 minutes, where's our plan B for Fellaini? Not there. So unless he's got an injury, what's that all about? What's the substitution at half-time about, Michael Carrick? Probably our best player in the first half. A world-class pass, eye the needle pass, which Zlatan flicked on. Pogba running through one-on-one. I've heard people saying it was a good finish. A great save. Watch it back, he hits it straight at the keeper. Yet again, Pogba in a position where he needs to score, misses. And watch how many times he's done it this year. So, unless Carrick did take a bad tackle, unless Carrick's injured, if Carrick's not injured and that was tactical, I'm sorry, Mourinho is culpable. Absolutely culpable. Carrick was playing well in that first half. There was no need to make that sort of a change. And I've got to be honest, Wayne Rooney, I'm sorry to everybody who likes Wayne Rooney. I know why you like Wayne Rooney. He's a Manchester United great, but he's not anymore. His mind is willing, his legs are gone. Another half where Wayne Rooney offered nothing but effort, but is not good enough. I'd argue Wayne Rooney probably wouldn't get in the Hull City team at the moment. He is just not a good player. And we've 45 minutes of him. I thought the first half was better than the second half. I don't know what anybody else thinks, but I thought in the first half we looked quicker, and better than we did in the second half. So Rooney was bad. And then Phil Jones, I feel sorry for Phil Jones. A lot of people saying, oh, he's going to be the answer at centre-back. Watch the videos back from the summer. He's injury prone. He's had a good run this time, but ultimately it comes to an end. You waste a substitution having to take him off for Smalling. But the best substitution of the lot, Mata for Mkhitaryan, with half an hour to go. What was that all about? Mkhitaryan didn't have a great game today, but I can name 4 or 5 players who played worse than Mkhitaryan. But forgetting that, Mkhitaryan's like Pogba and Zlatan, who never get subbed. Mkhitaryan is a flair player. Mkhitaryan is a creator. He created more chances than anybody in European football last year. Why take Mkhitaryan off when you're trying to unlock a defence? Why do it? When Rashford's having an absolute nightmare on the left and Mkhitaryan could go left and Mata could go right. Why do that? Why do it with half an hour left when you do it and it doesn't work, you've got no other subs to make? You can't get Martial on, you can't get Lingard on for a bit of pace. So we bring Mata on for Mkhitaryan, a total, at best, like-for-like sub, which is ridiculous. And Mata goes and misses from a yard out, just like he did against Stoke a week ago. I thought the substitutions were awful. I think Martial should have been starting. I don't know why Ashley Young was on the bench, but he can put a cross in, and Lingard gives you some pace. I thought the subs were rubbish, absolutely awful. And that I'm in shock. I'm absolutely in shock. I don't know where this season goes anymore. I am in shock. I'm not going to shout out stupid things like top 4's gone, because 5 points off second place, of course it's not gone. But in my mind and in my heart, I think it might be gone, because I just think, how can we ever trust you again? How can we ever trust that team again? How can we ever believe we're going to get top 4 again? How can we come out with this nonsense? Oh, we've got a great run of results. We've got a great run of fixtures in the league between now and April. We'll win most of them and we'll be in the top 4. A logical explanation and a logical prediction when you look at the fixtures. But we can't trust them. We can't trust that we'll beat Blackburn in the FA Cup. We can't trust that we'll beat Saint Etienne over 2 legs. We can't trust that we're going to beat Southampton in the final of the League Cup. We can't trust United at all at the moment. And I think that's the problem. We don't know what they're going to do. We can't trust them. Hull City at home, with that talent, with that opportunity, with the squad we've got, we can't score. And Hull ultimately could have won it at the end, hitting the inside of the post. I am, like many Manchester United fans, I just think I'm in shock. And I don't really know. I mean, I want to take some of your comments really, because I sort of have other things to say, but I think it's fantastic to get some of your opinions, because I'm in shock. Sentimental Jose has his special players. Our season finished today, says Twine Elvis. Mr. Jammy, tactics not right and players not up for it at home. No desire. Jose out, not out yet, says Arvid. No. Come on, we're not Jose out. That's ridiculous. Pogba not ready for the Premier League, says Connie. Formation 4-2-3-1 sucks, says Sanjoy. Pogba should have been taken out from the first half. Mickey was awful. Finally, no games versus Hull, says Toby. Well, it comes to something when we're glad we're not playing Hull anymore. Herrera is useless, says Thomas Williams. I thought Herrera was our best player in the first half, I've got to say. I thought the second half was awful. Generally, it was awful. Jose is drinking his own Kool-Aid when he says we are unbeaten still. We'll finish 6th if we're lucky, says the Zlatan 92. Embarrassing, says Craig MUFC. It is embarrassing. I've not looked on Twitter yet. I know for a fact because of the tweets I did last night, and I don't make any apologies about them. Football's about banter, and Arsenal deserved a bit of banter last night. Tonight, we deserve it. You know, as fans, this is the thing about football. We support Manchester United through thick and thin, and tonight's one of those nights where we have, you know, bottlers. We are bottlers. There's no other word for it. You can't defend it. The players didn't turn up. I think the manager made bad substitutions, and I don't know what the problem is with Anthony Martial and why he picks him. I mean, Rashford was rubbish tonight. He was. I love Marcus Rashford. I think he's going to be a fantastic player, but he was rubbish tonight. And this, I'm going to pick up on a comment there, which I was talking about in the watch-along. What baffles me the most is how Martial played against Liverpool. In his last 7 games, Martial's had 7 assists in every game. So straight away, whether he's off his game or not, it tells you something glaringly obvious, that he's a decent player to get on the pitch. Against Liverpool, a couple of weeks ago at home, Martial had a very difficult game. I don't think it was a bad game. I think he had 4 or 5 players on him every time he got the ball because Klopp knows he's dangerous. Don't give him any space. Mourinho comes out in the press and says Martial was rubbish. He didn't take advantage of that opportunity I gave him. He needs to book his ideas up or he's out of my club. That Liverpool game, Paul Pogba was rubbish. Disgrace. Absolute shit. Should have been substituted, but Mourinho doesn't do it. Do we hear anything in the press about Pogba really not living up to what we thought he was? Needs to book his ideas up? No. We see Pogba picked in the next game, the next game, and the next game. And then we see Pogba play tonight. Again, absolutely rubbish. Where's Martial? Not even used. It's the inconsistency. It's the way some players who are game changers for us get isolated and frozen out. Even taking Mkhitaryan off after an hour today. He's a game changer. Why is he being taken off? Pogba and Zlatan. Just keep them. Doesn't matter if you're playing bad. It's Pogba and Zlatan. You've got to keep them on. Doesn't matter if they're doing absolutely nothing. We will not finish in the top 4 this year because we carry players on their ego. And that is the cold, harsh truth, isn't it? We are carrying Paul Pogba today. We carried him against Liverpool 2 weeks ago. You can't do it. Not in the Premier League. You can't do it. Hull City, as bad as they are and as bad as they have been, they're not as bad as they used to be. I saw them against Chelsea 2 weeks ago. They've got a new manager with a good reputation who's organised them. But regardless of that, Manchester United should well and truly obliterate Hull City at home with the quality of player that we've got. But if you're carrying players and you've got a manager who won't substitute those players for players who will come on and do a job, you're not going to get a result. And unfortunately, we carried Paul Pogba today. We carried Zlatan to a certain extent. We carried Rashford. He didn't play very well. We're carrying too many players, and he won't sub them off. And it's a problem. But the thing I would go back to is I don't know. I can't give you the answer of what Manchester United's season going to be. It's blatantly obvious that we are in every tournament that we entered, and we've got a chance of winning every tournament that if you count top 4 as winning something, of course we can. But between now and the end of the season, I don't know when the next Hull City performance is going to come up, or the next Stoke City performance where we think we're going to win, and we should win, but we bottle it. And that's the fear now. Every game matters, but the reality is in our last 3 league games, we've taken 3 points. It's like losing 2 and winning 1. And that's the cold, harsh thing. Draws are a waste of time, especially at home, but I'm just absolutely stunned by it. And the reality is, we couldn't finish today, says Master Basser. Apart from Pogba's chance and Mata's chance, Hull had 2 good chances as well. So we didn't create that many chances. It was too easy for Hull. John Addison says, bad selection, bad performances, bad substitutions. I can't wait for the bad excuses. I thought Rashford was our best player tonight, says Ryan MUFC. He's just not a winger. He's just not a winger. Mark, any players who you would rescue from today's performance, says Richie CR. Well, let's go through it. De Gea, he's never culpable, is he? Valencia, I'm going to be a bit critical of Valencia and say that his crossing was just atrocious, but we always know that. Jones played okay, Rojo played okay, Blind played okay. Carrick, I would nearly give him man of the match. I thought he was brilliant in the first half. Herrera was good in the first half, disappeared in the second half. Pogba, not there in the first half. Second half, he played a good couple of long balls and then disappeared again. Rooney, all effort, no ability anymore. Rashford, a lot of effort, but not a left winger. Mkhitaryan, disappointing, I agree. Mata, even more disappointing. Zlatan, little bits, but not enough. You can't. When you go through performances like that, you can't expect to win a game, can you? A point was a fair result. You know, I'm going to be totally honest. A really fair result, and it hurt. Of course, it hurts. It's embarrassing. I don't know really what more to say. I mean, I just glanced down there and I see that 12 people have disliked it. I want to know, when people dislike videos, I don't mind the dislikes, but it tends to be that they disagree with what we're talking about. And I know tomorrow, because that's life, isn't it? You know, your initial reaction changes over time. But if there's a Manchester United fan on the comments now who isn't really disappointed and disillusioned, please come on, because get commenting, because I can't see what angle you've got. You know, the players have let the fans down, the managers let the fans down. We've just let a massive opportunity go, and it's not the first time. It's about 6 home games now where we've just we've drawn a game that we should have won, and it's baffling. It really is baffling. But and you know, Michael Bales is right. Our B team scores more goals than our A team, and the reality is, we've got a good squad. And I know some people were saying, "Oh well, you know what? We'll keep that squad for the FA Cup and the Europa League, and we'll use this for the Premier League." If your first team's not performing, you don't do that. The first team didn't play well against Liverpool, didn't play well against Stoke. The players who played at the weekend played well. Why not play some of those players tonight, rather than sticking with players who are not playing well, like Zlatan, like Pogba, like Herrera, not playing well at the moment? Why couldn't Schweinsteiger play tonight? Why couldn't Fosu Mensah be part of it tonight? Why couldn't Bailly come back and play tonight? Not that would make any difference. Why did Martial not start tonight? You know, odd decisions, and ultimately you get judged on them at the end of the game. And but I'm just disappointed with the players as well. The main thing is the players, really, because once or twice a season where they miss a load of chances and you drop 2 points at home, once or twice you look back on it and you go, well, that was 2 points that we dropped. But it's 6 times now. 6 times at home. Stoke, Burnley, Arsenal, West Ham, Liverpool, and tonight, Hull. 6 home games where we've drawn games we really either didn't turn up at or we weren't clinical enough at. And it's disappointing. It's really disappointing. But I could talk to you all night and not find an answer. That's the whole problem. The only answer I'm going to leave this show with is I don't trust Manchester United anymore. I don't trust them. I'm not going to start saying we'll win tonight because we're at home to a team in the bottom 3, and then we'll be 3 points off second place, and then after that we've got a really good run of games and we'll get in the top 4. I'm not going to make them predictions anymore. I think as a fan and as fans we've got every right to do that, because that's what Manchester United fans do. That's what any club does. You look at fixtures and you go, we'll win that, we should win that, we should win that. I'll look at a fixture and go, we should win it, but I'm not going to trust them like I did tonight, like I have done a few times this season, because that set of players need to earn that trust, and I don't trust them anymore. I think they're capable of losing any game. I think they're capable of drawing any game. I think we're capable of winning any game, but I can't be consistent in predicting that we're going to win games anymore, because tonight was just an embarrassment. And if you're that way inclined, you're feeling that depressed that you want to watch it back again, did we deserve to win it? Not as much as the Stoke and Burnley games in November. No, we weren't that dominant. And Hull had the best chance, really, to win it. And they hit the inside of the post. Martial never even warmed up. Never even got told to warm up tonight. Just ridiculous, isn't it? Time to be worried. Lots of you watching. Please drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Get commenting below. Ross Taylor says, I'm sorry, Mark, but I've got to bring this comment up because sometimes people put comments in there and it deserves an answer. Ross Taylor, I'm sorry, Mark, but you asked for the front 6 we played apart from Martial, so stop moaning at the team selection. We were just not good enough on the night. End of story. How to answer yourself and contradict yourself in one sentence. Most people would have asked for that front 6 tonight. If they don't turn up, you don't trust them. That's the point. I've got no issue with the team selection tonight, apart from one position, which I wouldn't have played Rashford, I would have played Martial. But when that team doesn't turn up, that's not down to the fans or the manager. That's not down to us or the manager for thinking that team's good enough to beat Hull City. But what is down to the manager is you change it and you make the right changes. And bringing Rooney on, who's finished, and bringing Mata on for Mkhitaryan, which is basically the same sort of player, doesn't change anything. In fact, I think we were worse in the second half. So I might have agreed with the 5 out of the 6 players that he picked, but at half time I wouldn't have took Carrick off for Rooney. And if I had to take Carrick off because he was injured, I'd have put Mata on where Rooney played, and then I would have brought Martial on for Mkhitaryan and put Rashford on the right and add more pace. So that's what I would have done. So I think that answers your question, Ross. So if you were trying to be clever, hopefully that's answered it for you. Thanks everyone for watching. Very disappointed, as you can pick up on. I think we've all got a right to be disappointed. Where next? I don't know. We are in every tournament and anything is possible, but can we trust that we'll go to Leicester and win? I don't think so. We might win, We probably will win, but I wouldn't trust it. We've got Watford and Bournemouth at home soon. Can you trust that we're going to win them games? We didn't tonight, and that's the problem we've got going forward with United. What does the future hold? It's going to be exciting. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Get commenting, like the video, and tomorrow night, just have a night off from the football. We are live at 8:30 with our brand new Manchester United quiz. 3 of you can come on. Got brilliant prizes. You'll learn a lot about Manchester United. Some of the questions are brilliant as well. So join us for that at 8:30. It's tough, this football arc.